Morning, guys. I'm here with William Coughlin, the senior brand manager of Jeep. Are you mostly focused on the Wagoneer, or are you Jeep in general?
Yes, so I'm responsible for the Wagoneer S, and then another one of our future products, the Recon, as well.
Awesome. We got some questions about the Recon as well, but we're going to talk about some highlights. We posted on our channel some questions that you guys wanted us to ask, so we've got some notes here. So pardon this, but we're going to ask some questions here, and hopefully we get you guys some answers. So the 4xe brand itself has been incredibly popular. The one question we're getting a lot of, and maybe you can or can't talk to it, is the Gladiator. We've been teased the Gladiator coming out for 2025. Is that still going to be a thing, the 4xe Gladiator?
You know, you're right. I can't comment on what we're doing, but to your point about how popular it is, you know, the Wrangler's the #1 selling PHEV in America. Grand Cherokee's #3 top selling PHEV. So we've seen a lot of success. I think it is really great to expand our freedom of choice for our customers, and especially on the Grand Cherokee, have multiple sizes, multiple powertrains, really find something for everyone. And I know we were talking about your Wrangler 4xEs earlier. I personally love them. I think they're the best Wrangler ever. So it's really great to see, and you know, we'll see what happens if we extend that to the Gladiator or not.
Yeah, well, fair enough. So the one thing that I noticed about the 4xe Wrangler is a lot of people don't understand it. They don't understand, you know, 25 miles of range. You know, they don't understand, maybe you see constant reminders that it's a plug-in hybrid, not a battery hybrid, right? Not a battery vehicle. Is there any thoughts about like different ways of like marketing that, or addressing like what a 4xe truly is, or is it just kind of a learning curve with the customers?
Yeah, no, that's something that, you know, we've discussed internally about how to get that out there and understand that you don't necessarily have to plug it in. You can do it strictly with like regenerative braking. You can charge that. I have a friend back home as well who bought a Willis 4xe, doesn't plug it in, never bought a charger, and just uses it that way. So there's a lot of different flexibility, and that is something that we're trying to build out with our website, an electrification page, especially as we get into the full battery electric vehicles and expanding what 4xe means. Again, with that freedom of choice, you've got our traditional gas engines, plug-in hybrids, full EVs, and then later this year, there'll probably be some others to add to that mix as well.
Fair enough. So that brings me to a question about branding. So you mentioned it yourself, you got battery 4xEs. So I noticed on the Wagoneer S here, perfect shot, it says 4xe. What is the thought with the branding of the Wagoneer S and 4xe? I thought originally the 4xe was just going to be the hybrid system. Is the 4xe now kind of transferring to also indicate that it's full battery as well?
Yeah, so right now it's kind of encompassing both. So anything that you plug in can be classified as a 4xe, but it's less about that aspect of it and more about the capability in terms of an electric four-wheel drive system. So with the Wrangler and the Gladiator PHEV, you can go all electric mode and do everything that you could when you're on full gas mode. And we brought that over to the full BEVs as well. So you can do everything. It has select terrain drive modes, auto, sand, snow, sport, and eco for the Wagoneer S, and it's all with that BEV powertrain. So that's just an evolution of 4xe into, again, that kind of freedom of choice for our customers.
And so let's talk about and again, probably something you can't talk about, but there are teasers of the Cherokee coming out. So we've definitely been missing a segment there, I think, for a minute. So any idea on what we can look at for timing or anything like that? I know there's some teaser photos I've seen that they're talking it's going to be an internal combustion engine. Anything you can talk about to the Cherokee right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to tell you, but just to kind of summarize, I think if we could do everything at once and get back into that mid-size segment, we would. Production constraints, things of that nature, you know, we can't do it all. So this is our first pronged approach back into the mid-size segment. This is a premium UV that also happens to be electric. We're really proud of this and think it's making a splash. And then as part of our $3.2 billion of investment in new product this year, we are going to compete back in the heart of the American market better than ever. So you'll just have to stay tuned. But I think if we have this conversation a year from now, it will all make sense, and you'll say, oh, I'm so glad Jeep is back, and I have one of these. I love it. So we'll have to circle back next year.
Fair enough. I am super excited I actually had the opportunity to drive the Wagoneer S. Well, I'm not obviously against electric. I'm not necessarily 100% ready for it, but I will say if there was an electric vehicle, that'd be the one. So nice job.
Yeah, well, thank you. No, as I said, we're incredibly proud of it. I personally love the design. I think it's really, really something special how the team was able to keep kind of that square profile of a UV, but not compromise aerodynamics. That rear ring in the back is not just for looks. It does help with the aerodynamic efficiency, and this is the most aerodynamic Jeep ever at a coefficient of drag of 0.29, and it is incredibly fast. You know, we entered first with the launch edition. There's one over there if you get some footage of it later, and that is an absolute beast. 600 horsepower, 617 pound-feet of torque, 3.4 seconds 0 to 60. It's amazing. But this, with the limited trim, which is new for 25 model year, is tuned differently. So it's 500 horsepower out of the gate, but still has all of that great kind of interior content that you'd want to expect. 10-way leather seats, standard dual pane sunroof, and then 34 inches of screen on the inside, including that comfort screen that can control all your HVAC controls as well.
Yeah, I will say I had some time inside the launch edition. It is incredibly fast. Back in 1998, I had the 5.9-liter Grand Cherokee, which was dubbed the world's fastest SUV at the time.
Yeah.
And now this is, well, the fastest Jeep ever produced, right?
Yes, that's correct. So continuing to kind of build it ourselves. And, we had that really great video that came out in May, Surpass Yourself.
Yes.
I think you may have seen that on YouTube. And that just set out the goals that we had for the Wagoneer S. We knew that we had to take on the competition head on. We also knew we had to take on ourselves and look in our own garage. So it is 1/10 of a second faster than the old Trackhawk.
Yeah.
And we'll see what else we can do in the future, because Jeep's about capability, true, as well, but also performance. And so we're excited to see what may come.
And I will say, I did have the opportunity to drive a Trackhawk. I took my daughter to a daddy-daughter dance in one, and there's nothing better than that supercharger whine. But I will say, there's something eerily odd about going fast and being just silent. It's unique.
The definition of a sleeper, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yep.
All right, I got a few more questions here. You talked yesterday in the press release. You guys talked about like realignment of pricing, and can you talk a little bit more about that? I know you mentioned some of the vehicles kind of bringing back to a more of like a competitive market. Can you maybe talk a little bit more about like the opportunity or what the plan and moving forward for some of the pricing is?
Sure. So in addition to the pricing, there's been a lot of leadership changes within the company recently as well, and I think the energy in the building has definitely changed, and you can feel it. So all the way from Chairman Elkin to Antonio Filosa, and now our new CEO of the brand, Bob Broderdorf, really is empowering their teams to make decisions to sell the vehicles they want to the customers where they want to buy them. And that's something that really has changed, and we're really excited about it. So yes, there's been competitive pricing actions on the Compass, the Gladiator, Grand Cherokee, and the Wagoneer, and we've seen that already pay some success with some sales increases to start the year, and I think we can continue to keep an eye on that and make sure that we are proactive and meeting the customers where they want to be and delivering, again, our commitment to quality, our commitment to capability. That's not going to change. We're just going to get more competitive with the pricing.
Fair enough. So it's interesting you say. So I also have a connection with a Jeep dealership that supports our group, Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we noticed at one point they weren't even stocking. They didn't have any Gladiators in stock at the time. There was some pricing changes that came out, and there was some incentive money that came out. As soon as that incentive money landed, they sold five Gladiators on there that they had to trade in for. So it certainly tells you right there that it's the vehicle's great. They're just looking for that price point.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that I'm glad that we're taking head on for 2025. And to the Gladiator's point, I mean, it's a fantastic truck. It has best-in-class towing. I think it's the only truck you can take the doors off of, but you probably ought to check that with the Gladiator team. But it's incredible. And it's really awesome that you can see the Gladiators running on Camp Jeep as well. So it just proves out the capability that there's no other truck like it on the market, and it can still do truck stuff.
I think it's even more impressive that you see Grand Cherokees on Camp Jeep.
That's also true. And we've got a cool mix because the Trailhawks, as you know, are 4xe only. So that just speaks again to what we can do with a flexible powertrain. That PHEV technology really doesn't have to sacrifice anything for capability. And I agree, it's awesome to see them out there.
All right, I guess got a few more questions here, and we talked briefly about this yesterday. And I know, with the battery version, and everyone, the big question out there is the Tesla network. Personally, a lot of this, I think the biggest key in my personal opinion, after owning a 4xe and having a little experience in the battery world, is charging at home is definitely where you're going to spend most of your time charging. But can you talk a little bit about, is there conversation from Tesla, and maybe you could talk a bit about the program that you guys are offering with the credits and stuff as well?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll start there. So with the purchase or lease of every Wagoneer S for 25 model year and 24 model years, which are still on the ground, we've got customer choice with our free to move charging ecosystem. So the customer can choose a home wall box, which is a level 2 48 amp wall charger, or $600 in public charging credits. And that's good at like Shell Recharge, EVgo, ChargePoint as well. And it's like 130,000 stations nationwide. And that's a really great offer because we know some customers are coming out maybe from a 4xe, maybe from a complete gas engine or a competitor. And we know that charging is top of mind. So we have that for them. I think a lot of competitors have backed away from that. And so we felt like that was very important and definitely fought to keep that as we head into the new model year. In terms of Tesla, that is a discussion that's ongoing, and we'll see what happens there. But this is a CCS port for now. We know where kind of the future of EVs and everything are going. So we have a commitment to compete and, again, kind of meet our customers where they want to be. So we'll see what happens, but certainly something that we're taking a look at.
Fair enough. So speaking of electric, now it seems like there's some EV mandates have maybe like relaxed a little bit. There's obviously still a push for, there's obviously no secret, right? Everyone's talking Hemi, right? Tim's back. What do you foresee? You've got battery now, we've got 4xe, we've got ICE. Do you see a direction that maybe that it's going to go, or like what does the future look like between all three of those platforms?
Yeah, time will tell. But I think that right now with this powertrain and everything that we're bringing to market in the Wagoneer S, it's amazing. It's a great vehicle. It's a fantastic Jeep, and it happens to be an EV. So we're really proud of that. It is built on our Stella Large platform, which is a multi-energy platform. So there is opportunity to add a new powertrain in the future. And so we'll see what happens. But I think that we are set up for success with this as an EV. Plus we have a flexible powertrain that we can adapt in the future if need be.
So I know there was also conversation about like strengthening ties with dealer networks. So what can you talk to a little bit more about that? Like what does that mean? We haven't really seen specifically about that. What does the support look like on the dealer network side?
Yeah, so it's a combination of many things. Within Stellantis North America, we do have a dedicated kind of dealer relations, dealer network team, and they are working head on to understand the dealer needs and then how we can adapt for all brands to make sure that we address their current inventory on the ground and then future product, because we need, they're dealing with the car park that they have on their lots. Yep. So we need to address that so they can also then build the order bank, which feeds our production plant, which helps then, of course, raise money to invest in new products. So it is a cycle, and the dealers are a critical part of that. And one aspect in terms of EVs that we worked with our full robust dealer network on is being EV certified. So that was a process where they needed to make some investments in their infrastructure, both on their lot and in their people. So they added new chargers, upgraded their service bays and their lifts, and then their sales and service techs all got dedicated EV training to understand what these products are like, how to address some of the common customer concerns, and then also how to address some of the issues that may pop up when dealing with any new technology. And so we are really confident about that. We have over 1,600 EV certified dealers nationwide. It accounts for over 90% of all major metro areas. And so we've got great coverage with that, and we're continuing to add new ones each day. And I think we're in good shape as we continue to kind of roll out these future EV powertrains.
Fair enough. And I know our sponsor, Ray in Fox Lake, they've got multiple EV trained techs, and those guys actually seem to be really on top of it. So it's good to see that there's support from the backside.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I mentioned kind of the energy within the building. We're seeing the energy within the dealers as well. It's always exciting to have new product, especially when it's as fast as one of these. And so we're seeing that really kind of take off. And, I am with Jeep, but also we've got the new Dodge Charger out there as well. So a lot of really exciting new product that's hitting the dealerships, and they're looking forward to selling it. And so we're really grateful for that and looking forward to continuing to work with them on it.
Because the Charger is on this same Stella Large platform, correct?
Yep, that's correct. Stella Large, yep.
So speaking of like the positive, the energy, it's a good tie in. With all the recent changes that you guys have had, it's obviously not a secret. We've had a rough 2024, right? But I'm seeing, on media, I'm seeing everywhere, like everything it just feels better, right? The publications that you read, the highlights, the headlines are all positive, right? So is that the feel? Is that the excitement? Like, what does 2025 look like with you guys?
Yeah, it is. And for me personally, it starts with the product. So as I was saying, it's really exciting to launch these things, seeing them come to fruition, because, for a long time was working on them just on PowerPoint or in like a clay model, something like that. And now they're here, and they look amazing, they drive amazing, and the interior is top notch. So once you get that energy, the rest kind of takes care of itself. And so we're seeing that come to fruition, and it's a really great time and looking forward to a big year.
Awesome. Just two more questions and I'll let you go. So you've got some of the most passionate brand owners. We talked about it. My son grew up in a Jeep bed. I mean, he probably had a Jeep tattoo at the age of 2, right? What does it look like from a Jeep standpoint? As far as like community events, Jeep clubs, off-road events. Like, do you have anything in the plans to like support clubs on a more on a more smaller level, I know you're still doing Camp Jeeps. What do these events look like moving forward?
Yeah, so we have a dedicated team that works on that, but it is a critical part. We have, as you said, an incredibly strong community, millions of followers on all our social media channels, and then just those who get out and do stuff. I mean,
Right.
that's the heart of the brand, and so we love seeing that. And I think the strength of the community is their ability to share with each other and share with us. And so it is part of our plan for 25 to get more engaged and to keep developing that community. So there'll be things, I think, kind of like across the country. We've got a great partnership with Jeep Jamboree.
Yep.
They do a lot of really great events. Easter Jeep Safari is coming up with the Red Rock four-wheelers as well. So things that we always do, we just want to make them bigger and better and continue to build on that really robust and strong community. So I think there'll be a lot of exciting things coming.
Well, maybe Jeeps on the Run can be your Easter Jeep Safari of Chicago. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, that'd be great.
To wrap it up, what excites you most about the Jeep brand today? What comes to mind?
Yeah, it's really the road ahead. As I mentioned, we've got over $3 billion of investment in new product for 2025, and that's both on like product refreshes and all new vehicles that are coming to market. Starting with the Wagoneer S, I'm just so excited to finally have this on the ground and see customers really react positively to it. So I think that in some of our other product launches that are coming this year, we're going to see that same energy, and again, just kind of really take off and get back in the heart of the retail market. Our leadership has empowered us to make those decisions. We know what we have to do, and we've got a fantastic design and engineering team that can really help us deliver and keep our commitment to capability, keep our commitment to quality, and ensure that our customers are getting a great product. And so I think with all that behind us, the wind at our sails, it's going to be a great year.
I agree. I see all the positivity coming. So I thank you. Thank you for your time. And looking forward to 2025. We'll follow along. If you guys haven't seen the Wagoneer S, I got the chance to drive it for a day or two. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing. So hats off to you and your team.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah, the team, the engineering team, and the design team really should take all the credit because it's beautiful and it performs really well also.
It does. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Come see you guys here at the Chicago Auto Show. Camp Jeep is back.